Greetings. Greetings, love. We're only 3 days into the Sacred Circle Reset experience, and already lives are shifting. Voices are rising, truths are breaking through, and women who have been silent for years are finally being seen. Those women, I call her Miss Denise, AKA Miss I Got Time for Everything Except Myself. You may know her. You may definitely know her. I know I do, and I see her in all the places and spaces that I interact. And I've also come to know that she's me as well. And I want to share what's going on with you, uh, Miss Denise, aka Miss I Got Time for Everything Except Myself, in the Sacred Circle Reset. We are 3 days into it, starting tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can click the link where you find this video, and there is still time to join because there is a whole lot of stuff that is just for you to experience. You've been holding space for a lot of folks, and now it's your turn to hold space for you, to show up for you. And so I want to talk about what's been going on because it's just been so fulfilling and all of the things. So let me jump right in. I'm going to tell you about the sacred circle agreements that we've put in place. I'm going to share with you some of the day-to-day recap. We've talked so far about self-love care, healing, and tonight we're going to talk about identity. And I know that you don't feel like you even have one, that you've disappeared, that you're not even seen, even when you're in a room full of people. But as long as you witness yourself and you know your identity, that won't matter as much as you think it does. Not in this moment, because the arc that I've created for you and the path on your journey, self-love care, healing, identity, and then tomorrow we're talking about time freedom, will help you use your voice, be seen and heard. Pause. Take that sacred pause that you need. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that have been happening. Um, women voices rising. My cousin, she's literally come in and I've watched her voice literally grow louder. We had another person, reflections that carried presence even when she wasn't live. She left me a voice note and she shared her feedback. And that voice note was about almost 4 minutes long. So she had a lot to get out. And so that's what's happening, right? The silence is shifting to sound. And that's what she was exactly what she was sharing and talking about. How even in her day when she wasn't able to come to the healing portion, she used what she learned in the sacred circle experience for self-love care on day one, the very next day. And that's what it's about, right? So, what that looks like in action is learning rest isn't laziness, that you can choose yourself without guilt. It was such a full, rich experience. Now, day one went 2 hours. We unpacked and uncovered quite a big deal of information, and I'll touch on that. We introduced some new terms and new ways to think about self-love care and how uh, you don't need to earn rest. Essentially, that you get to decide and put yourself on your own calendar in your own day. We talked about kind of what that can look like in practice. And my favorite practice is using your voice to say no. We talked about what it looks like to use your voice to affirm and confirm and witness yourself and say it out loud. I shared some of my private voice notes that I have to myself so that they could see the, another cheat code to kind of help yourself. We talked about the sacred boundaries. Um, I like to say sacred getting your needs met because boundaries just sound so general and it needs to become reality for you, right? Your sacred agreements, what you're holding to yourself in protecting your dignity, your time, your peace, the care, your confidentiality, whatever is important to you. We defined some disrupt her terms for self-love care, which that's my IP. Let me put it out there. I created that and what that looks like for you. And then there was healing, the disruptor version of healing. Now, now today we're going to talk about the disruptor version of identity. And what that looks like is you determining um, what these definitions mean to you. This is what I believe they are as a disruptor, and you becoming a disruptor in your own life. And because maintaining the status quo is what got you there. And you know how that's been working out. Overgiving, free labor, disappearing in your own life, not being seen, not being heard, being the go-to for everything, holding everyone, and no one's holding you. Well, that's what's happening here over in the Sacred Circle Reset experience. You are being held, and that's what one of the women shared with me. um, and I'm withholding her name because I didn't ask permission yet, but it was in our private voice note conversation how for the first time she felt held, right? And I love that because I wanted that for myself. And sometimes we have to create the thing that we want to see and be and do because we're the only one with the blueprint. um, my DisruptHer coach insights. We talked about leading with presence over perfection, because it's not about putting one more thing on your to-do list. It's really about you being in the room to get loved on, to get held, to get witnessed, to be seen and heard, and all of the things that come with that, right? The transparency, the care, the tough love shaped in the circle, and being in the circle. Everyone is on a level playing field in the circle. I participated, my team are participated because they're working with me with doing all of this wonderful work and greatness. So everyone's voice matters in the circle. It's like chicken soup for the soul. That's what happens, right? And then we talked about, and this is a living experience. It's not canned. Each day has an identity of its own. See what I did there? Because today we're talking about identity. And we debrief after each session to see what needs to carry into the next one or what may need to be released and talk about that. And so one of the things we introduced on day 2, because there was just a lot happening on Monday, day 1, was the Sacred Circle Agreements. And I'd love to share it here with you. So confidentiality, what's shared here stays here. It's your story. And so we get consent before we share anything outside the space. Okay. Care over perfection. Mm. Come as you are, dear. You will get tears. There will be silence. There was lots of laughter, although on day 2 healing, it was more internal reflection, as it typically is, right, when we're healing, because it's inner work. It's inner work. But we have a segment, well, a way that we maneuver in the space is we pass the mic, right? And all are welcome to speak. And what that looks like when we're passing the mic is the dignity of pace. You can pass, you can pause, you can step away to take care of your body and return when you're ready. or you can speak into the circle and hear the magic of your own voice. That's one of the things that is starting to transpire. The voices are rising, and I can hear the reflection in the tone as they get louder because I'm actively listening. I'm witnessing. And then it was a beautiful exchange last night in the healing space of someone else in the circle witnessing um, my cousin. It was beautiful. And then she called me to share. I love that for her. I love that for her. And I can share about her because she wants others to experience what been experiencing, right? We speak from an I so that you can tell your truth, your lived truth. Because using you or we or they or them does not allow you to accept your truth, own your truth, with no fixing, diagnosing, or rescuing others, right? Because we don't know their story, but you know your story, my story. I know my story. So when we're speaking in the circle, we use the I. Consent before coaching. Ain't no giving no advice and no coaching, although this is an area that I work on because the teacher in me and the coach in me likes to show up. I know when I need to be of service. So we talk about trying. Do you want reflection or just witnessing? Just asking permission. And then the other thing, dynamic that is taking place in that is the posture of receiving. It is so special and magical. And it's a beautiful thing to witness as well and see how, as the time goes by, that voice, that whisper now is full-blown voice. It's beautiful. And we do honor time. Um, I asked permission if they wanted to keep going. And we did that on day 2 or day 1. And then on day 2, we were right close to time. We had some technical glitches and difficulties, and folks couldn't get in the room. We've taken care of that. And so just addressing the things, because, when you're doing this transformational sacred work, the enemy is going to come for you. And I anticipate that. So we were ready. We honor time. And then for those that are in agreement with the sacred agreements, they can nod, type I agree, or the one that I love the most is drop that purple heart emoji. Yeah, because you're in a sacred space, baby. So some of the voices in the circle were, um, like I mentioned, even in absence, um, the voice note captured transformation, gratitude, relief, recognition, that she did have time for herself. Yeah, that part. I said that. Because sometimes in all that moving around and action that's happening that doesn't have you in it, but it has you doing rather than being, it can get clouded that the time is really yours. The voice, the affirming of the power in the voice, the modeled reflection, right? And me sharing my voice notes. And it showed in the circle as a container, not just for the sessions, but for the in-between life, like what's happening in real time, asking questions and how they see things and how I see things, and just really permeating the room. It's just so beautiful to watch. I left on full every night with you on my heart. Miss, I got time for everything except myself. Yeah, you. Absolutely. And if you're here with me now, greetings, Miss Debbie. Thank you. Come on in the circle. I got some for you. Tag me over in school and I'll share something with you. So you can come be with us tonight. We'd love to have you. And then, yeah, that's beautiful. And then, like my cousin's voice, getting louder and louder, clearer, claim his space, a physical embodiment of identity work just for her. Let me know that you caught what I said, Miss Debbie. I want to make sure you come. And then my coaching out insights, what else I gleaned was presence over perfection. Like real power is in showing up. You don't have anything to do. There's some reflection and journal prompts that you can take back with you. I give you all of the slides from each night, so you don't have to take notes. It'll all be there for you. See actual slides that go up on the screen because I know you need to see something. And we introduced some new terms. We're talking about positive intelligence. We're talking about saboteurs. We're talking about sage and sage power and really getting activated. It's a beautiful thing. And just giving you language, right? And we're talking about horizontal power. That was part of one of the questions, and the full question doesn't come up for me at the moment, but it probably will. Like no fixing, just witnessing, redirecting, not redirecting, reflecting and holding, right? That horizontal power that happens in a circle. It's horizontal because we're all equal and then we're all in the circle together. I call it the circle of love. We create a circle of love, right? Yeah. And the voice, just the power of the voice and witnessing yourself is so magical. I know yours is a little bit silent because the world has dropped on you, but it don't have to stay that way. Not at all. And then the sacred care as disruption. So the resting, the pausing, saying no, the radical acts of women conditioned to overgive. Like we're disrupting the whole damn thing, flipping the table over. And it's adult conversation, grown woman conversation going on up in here. And I just love it. It is my jam. I can do it and talk about it all the time. Yeah. The transformation that is underway. We're going from self-love care, healing, identity, and it's a clear path where you are able to connect dots across the days, right? After we talk about identity, your power and your purpose and your identity and who you're called to be, the essence of you. After we have these conversations, yes, we'll talk about the time freedom that you desire. I've got some beautiful language for you around that and what that potentially looks like and feels like for you that you can try on. And then just the collective momentum of each participant. It adds weight and witness, right? So your presence is needed. It's needed for you. It's needed for me. It's needed for your other sisters that are in this same space and place and time right now. Don't take that lightly, right? The circle is bigger than any one story, which is beautiful because then you get to see, okay, it's not just me. Oh, she's got a nugget that I can take, that circle of love, right? That I can take and go and now use it. There's a seed that's been planted. So there's a lot of seed planting going on. All right. So here's what I want you to do with this information that I've shared with you. Miss Denise, aka Miss I Got Time for Everything Except Myself, this is your reminder. You don't have to keep living last on your own list. We don't do that over here, not on my watch. What's happening inside this sacred circle reset is real transformation, real voices rising, voices just rising from a whisper to now this audible sound and to now what sounds like poetry in motion. And it's your time to claim that same space for yourself. You can click the link to the invitation that I have for you on this video, accept it, join us inside the Sacred Circle Reset Experience. So come sit in a room where your story is safe, your identity is honored, and your healing has room to breathe. I call it the sacred pause, right? And we start out with the sacred pause, just so you know. We don't start out doing anything else. I do an opening circle intention, and then we pause. We sit with it. I speak over you, and you get that also in the slides, just for you. And they're in first person, right? They're in the I statement. So when you're reading it, you're not reading it as if it's somebody else. No, it's for you, darling. Okay? So click the link, say yes to yourself, and step into the circle, because this isn't about waiting for the right time. It's about choosing you right now. Someday is today. 7 p.m. today, right? 7 p.m. today. I want to see your face in the circle, and I get to love on you and all of the things. Absolutely. I'm just looking here, see what else I got going on for you. I there's so much meat and so much that I want to share. It's hard to do it in one sitting because I know I can talk for hours about this, and to you, girl. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to keep you, but I do want you to click and step into this circle. Click that link and come on in the room. We got lots of space for you to get cozy. Take your shoes off, girl. Get a little something to sip on. Maybe even show your face on camera if you so choose and desire. It's a beautiful face, so I would love to absolutely see it, right? So come on, we'll be there tonight. I've got, oh, I dropped a bonus surprise. So for you to grab it, you got to be in the room and come be present. I'm taking care of everything, so you don't have to worry about taking notes. There's nothing that you need to do but be present. There's so much power in showing up. And I can't stress that enough. And you haven't been able to be present in your own life because you're running around doing everything for everybody and being everything to everybody. You ain't everybody. Let me tell you something. You are not everybody's emergency savior. There, you're not. I whew, that makes me think about a story. I had a friend where I started realizing like I was her safety net for when she needed money. And that, I had to say no. And it felt great because I needed to get out of that cycle, that trap. That was another thing that came up, that cycle of being kind or nice, right? And really, what was mentioned is the way in their family using the word nice is like that overgiving, right? Letting everybody use you. Because let's be clear now, nobody can do what you don't want them to do with your time, your energy, your peace, and your power. That is a willing sacrifice, maybe unintended in a lot of ways because you might not have realized that you could say no. Because I've heard that, like, if I had some coins for every time that I heard the woman say that she didn't know that she could even say no. Yeah, that's your power, baby. And when you don't use it, you're giving it away. And then it disappears. You disappear. I don't want that for you. But I don't want to get on a tangent. No, I love you. So stop putting yourself last. Click the link, join the Sacred Circle Reset. That's what I want you to do. I want you to come get this warm virtual hug from me in real time. All right? So until next time, I want you to take really good care of you. That's your assignment today.